Sorry, a little later. Got off work a little later because of an audit, so took a little longer to get food. No, I do not actually have an idea yet. I tried thinking about it today, but I was just kind of too bogged down to put my brain to anything specific. Look at that. Okay, so my computer can't be that messed up because the it came up and I said it was supposed to be 610. So my computer's right, the rest of the world's wrong. Yeah. After coming back to this after a while, I am liking it. I think though this needs to be more orange. It stands out too much, even if it's meant to be orange. That was just the one thing that popped out to me. Just to focus, I think, a little bit more on orange. Maybe just make it reflect orange. Maybe you'll see. Say go for short with dash the QB map. Oh, I'm like, what did I do last night with a Psycho Horse Short? Seems pretty general though. Is there more specifics to it? Okay, so I had set up the fog tint here. So I want to take the fog tint that I'm using for the wings and apply that to this. Let's see if that might do it. Hello. That actually did help. But I still think that for one, I'm gonna shut off self-illumination. I'm gonna see what it looks like on that on that side of things. Okay, let's put it on that one. I don't need to do it on tint. I'll keep the sun and the gem. I think chestplate didn't actually have anything. No. No, this is what I think about it. Yeah. Oh, Super Saiyan 3 theme. Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay, that one. The problem is that one is more involved than it looks like. A lot of the stuff is very minimal. There's no scene building done on it. It would be a lot more involved than just a small short. Because I didn't want anything that I was going to have to spend like non-stop time to finish, and that is essentially about that. Well, neat. No. I do like the way that this chest piece looks, but the wings are too dark. And this is definitely dark, but wonder if I can light it in such a way to make it work. If I have any light hit it, so then that would actually fix the wing issue. It would light up this, and I can't actually light up the I'm going to keep that for now, but I'm going to have another one here. I like that actually. If I can do that and then take another one here. Shining to just the entire thing as a whole. Kind of like that. I wonder if I can try to get the top bit in there. I don't think so. Because I don't want it black. I want it having some kind of a light to it, or brightness to it. Because before, with the self-illumination, it just makes an even light. Even here, it's too evenly dark now. I wonder if I take this light then and move this around a little bit. We'll do that. Actually, I think that's going to work the best. Expand that a little bit and pull it cut off. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to I'm going to keep that one having the nice bright edge. I'm going to pull this one in to maybe play the middle ground. How close I can cut this. Way too close on that. So if I do it like this, I can actually hit just this part. Though blend with itself then. But at least now I can see to judge the distances, so I can play with this a little more. Now let's try copying that. Well, I don't think radius is on home in here. Ooh, no. Oof, that. See if I can light that ring around her eye a lot more without actually getting it in her face. I think that's going to be tough. That nice little glow there right around her eye, like the light's coming down and hitting that portion. If that's the case, what's lighting her? That's actually the one I was looking for. that's not coming down. How is that lighting it? Yeah, the one thing I'm not liking is this part right here. It's too even across. I might be able to focus this more towards here and drop that brightness down. Show you what happened if I drop the key's aperture all the way down. Not all the way down, but a bit of the way down. No, I like having that nice high aperture because of the nice blur in the background. If you're looking at specific to SFM, what you would need, the amount of RAM you have doesn't matter too much. I still would recommend at least 16, but don't worry about it too much. SFM only goes to 3300 because it's 32-bit program, so not a worry. It's much more graphics card intensive than it is processor. I don't even know if it actually does multi-threading on a processor, so having a processor that has a higher speed is probably going to be more useful than one that has multiple cores, but I haven't really tested with that yet. But really just the beefier the graphics card is going to be the main thing. And it does not use multiple graphics cards, so don't do an SLI or Crossfire, though I think that's kind of phasing out of existence. So don't rely on that to get your power. I had two 970s before, and while it was an upgrade, it really didn't help me that much more in SFM because I only used one of those two cards. So, hello. I think I want to look for some kind of maybe not like a fire, but some kind of a light aura to utilize for her main and stuff. I feel like there's something more that can be done with that. If anything, I wonder if, I don't think it's going to work, but you never know until you try. I just want to see what happens if I add alpha to her tail. For one, it looks better than I thought it was going to. But I definitely think that it loses some of its oomph. So let's go back to that. It's just, to me right now, it just looks like a yellow blob. It doesn't really give a good feeling of anything. If anything, this actually looks better. Is there a light? It probably was one of the first ones I did. Yes. reduce the height. It gives me a little bit more control over it. Widen it a bit. Oh no, I have to keep it fairly tight, so I'm gonna have to back it off. To get the best quality by getting it as tight as possible. Oops. I could Photoshop it, but I'm not good enough in Photoshop to feel confident in making something that would actually look better than what SFM would give. So there's that. That's what I meant. Okay, what angle am I working with? I think I'm kind of a little lower here. So I want the light to, oh, that's just from that angle, it's not going to cut through. Because it just creates beams, but like here, you can see a beam, but it actually looks like it's coming down like this, but it's not actually. It's just how the shadow's hitting. Is it blending right? It is. Okay, no, it's not the right angle either. I just want to make sure I'm maintaining the correct angle, and so like this is the correct angle right here, so I want to try that. I'm not really liking that angle though. I might just have to deal with a made up angle. So I want to keep the head bright, and I was potentially wanted to come through here, but see, I don't want the wing being bright like that, and that doesn't focus it the way I want it to. Something like this, where this is getting light and this is staying lit, right? Oh, her face is still too fogged. I really wish I could get the light to stream right here. Hello. The fire particles look really shitty. That's because if you want to make it look like a natural looking fire, SFM's fire particles are not the way to go. They're kind of shitty. A little bit, but it doesn't make any sense. I kind of like that one because I really like the way that it really whites this area out. But I guess I could just add another one. Well, and that shadow you can see is cutting through here, but everything in the background is going like this. It's not like I can't change that. Not like I can't just grab all the light rays here. Local. Just moving to match. Okay, I should at least name the ones that are hitting the volumetric lights. Or the... Oh, there, I did name those. Good. It's up there. I think this is the one that's supposed to hit just the top. And this one's supposed to hit them all. No, this is the dim one. Metric. Oh, that was that one. Okay. So this one is going to be for, I think, the general lighting of all of them. And this one is for the lighting of the top ends. That should look nice. Yeah, it's a poster. I wouldn't put this kind of detail into a video. Dim it a little bit like that. No, I kind of like having that super bright washed out look in the background, especially right there. So I'll check something. No, that looks bad. I like that though. One thing that bugs me, I think, is right here. I wonder if I can take one of those. the thing that was bugging me was that just the lines on there didn't look right. Well, I kind of was hoping to keep a lot of the underside of her darker. Because if you were in an area that you had light hitting really hard from one source, or like from the sky, the rest of it, if there's nothing reflecting from below, would be dark. So that's kind of my hope for it. I'm working on getting some of the glow around the edges, but I want to figure out her main kind of first. To see if I can get that down, because without the main doing it, that seems flat and it's hard to figure out all the rest of the stuff. So we can see what we have for particles. Even if it's just, I can add like an aura to the tail as it is and to give it some of the detail that I want. If she only had a juice box, well, let's see. We'll see if we have a juice box. And wow, that is loading slow. There it goes. With chunky bits. It's a box of juice. I guess in a way that works. How about this? There she goes. She has her juice box. I'm even looking for models. I'm not worried about the changes in the face. Identity flexes that have 0 values. Undo those are good. Alright, so we're gonna go and mess around with the only game that matters, Dota. Looking for some kind of aura. Hell, we were working on that the remake of her screaming, and we ended up with it, put the hamburger in her hand, and we just left it in for final. So, never know. No purple stuff. Who drinks the purple stuff? I don't think there's gonna be anything in here. No. Okay. I should probably try to download the game again and get the new ones, because I'm guessing there's been a lot of heroes added. Not like I've ever went through all these. So I want something that's either fire or light related, but not normal, like Warrior of Light, I think is No, I'm thinking Fountain Innocence when I say that. Keeper of the Light. Because he's just got, I'm pretty sure his has a lot of straight line stuff. Hero, I mean, here, let me check that one. Like, see, this could kind of work. Not for the lights, but for that aura. That could work. This will look like crap when it's frozen. It's the same with all these. All fire is usually just a it's the same like texture, or texture just used repeatedly. And so if I were to take that and actually place it in there, frozen, it would just look like a bunch of frozen textures. It's not going to look the same. But that one in mass actually might work. If I do, I might have to remove volumetric lights, though. They don't like particles. So I'll just try this one. Charcoal dual breath fire D. Georgia Kiro. That's not that bad. I think that actually could work. These will be in pieces. Yes. Okay, so this needs to be a lot smaller. And right now it's going in all directions. Let's see if we can make this go in a single direction. So more than likely there's some motion under the sphere random, and there is. It's saying to go down a lot. Okay, that's why it's going down. We want it to go down a little. So we're gonna do that for now. Okay, so now it's not going down so much. And I want it going one direction. Right now it's going very much in this X direction. Okay, so then that's out of one spot totally. So we're gonna go and do 220. No, because I'm not. By the time this slows down, I'm gonna do 50, 50, 0, 0. Okay, it's still gonna spray everywhere because yeah, it's still gonna spray everywhere because I'm trying to, I gotta shrink it down. So, noise good, that's fine, fine. Actually, no, noise scaler. Oh, put maximum. No, wait, that's noise scaler. So I probably want to get that down to 20. Well, that's actually just, I think, for the spinning. That should be fine too. Oscillates never work. At least not with SFM. Velocity noise, which direction are we going in here? Very much in one direction. I want to pull it that other direction I'm going. So I'm going to go 200, 0. Okay, we are shooting one direction now. I'm a little bit up and down, that's fine. It is scaling way too much. So radius scales from starting at 1 going to 7. We're going to go to 1 till 3. Nope, we're going to go 1 till 1. And we're going to go 0.5 125. How is that looking for size now? Much more manageable. Let's see if we can jam into her butt now. Okay, this is going in a very much a straight line. Doesn't really look like a tail. And I don't think... Can I actually redirect this? Yes, I can. She is shooting fire out of her ass. That's probably going to look like that in the end, isn't it? Beans! Alright, I do need to slow that down still. So we're going to increase the lifetime. You know, I'm going to slow it down first. Let's see your noise. We're gonna do this to... It still has a very much a feel of coming from a specific point. I don't think I can give it a curved space to go through. I can either expand it or not. But I might be able to make it look like it's curved. Yeah. Oh, it's this random force. And that is a force in all directions. What if I shut that off? Doesn't really seem to do anything. Okay, now it is too wide again. So I need to straighten or flatten this out. It's fairly flat on this direction, not on this direction. So why is that? 1304, that's fine. Oh, that's why, because it has no 1. So let's just try changing this to 0. Does that work? Oh, that's probably just the scaling that's doing that. No, because the scaling would have affected this too then. I'll try this. I do not make my own models, no. I am fairly poor at that. I rely on others. See, now it doesn't look like a tail, it just looks like a fire. We need to make it so that this actually looks like a tail. Which, I guess I could maintain the tail for structure reasons. And then put the fire in there as like a secondary thing. Let's check where these velocity noises are. So this is going up and down, that's fine. Up and down, or this is just down, but that's fine. I just need to find out where it is doing any type of side to side. Yeah, I don't need that to work. Oh, actually that helped, didn't it? Oh. Yeah, but not in the way I wanted to. So just gotta find the one that is causing what I have, or the issue I have, which is that it's spreading out. The noise is fine. Yeah, sorry, I can't help you on any models. The if you're looking for anything pony related, which I'm not sure if you are, there is the SFM Ponies DeviantArt group. Should have a thread in there that lists off people that take commissions. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, so I wasn't sure. That was so annoying. That's fine. Yeah, but sorry, those are modelers more specific to the pony side of things. I wonder if I don't know, because now I need to make it longer. So I could just try shooting it further out. Mine's actually pretty even all the way around. Maybe that is scalar based. Kind of. No, that just looks stupid at the end there. Probably be fine if I made him all that old. No, actually, it just looks... Something else is dying after that time. I'd have to figure out what it is before I change these values. But I think I'm going to try what I was thinking about trying. Well, actually... Let me put this in a position that works. Better anyhow. What was it be? Something with its tail right now bugs me. Maybe that'll work better. Again, anything you do in there is you're going to be working within a flat surface, so trying to make it look like it is within a three-dimensional space. I know there is no way I'm going to be able to do anything in Photoshop. It's going to look like a detailed picture with just a band-aid on top of it that looked like fire. No, it's going to, I'm not even going to try it because I know what it's going to turn out like. Oh, I was working on, in previous streams, I was working on the door short. And that is done. So, I am now working on a picture. And then once I kind of figure out a good idea for something to make for BronyCon short, I will work on that next. That could work, but it needs the coloration changed on that again. So self-illumination. Right now it is glowing to be much more orange. That's fine. I think I need to bring down this self-illumination. Take those numbers. I almost might play with this a bit more. Because right now, with how this is looking, I can get away with some probably breaking of the model. I'm wondering if I take this, curve it down, and then make this, curve it up, and this, curve it down. See how that looks in terms of shading. That should be fine. And with how the camera is here, I might be able to play with these particles enough to make that work. So this one, it's right now going past here. So first I want to make sure that these copy paste don't break things. Okay. Copy paste particle, sometimes it does that. Or normally it's a duplication, I think, within copying and pasting a shot. That they get state links, so if you edit one, it edits the other. Stupid. So, I'm gonna let this die faster. So I don't want it going so far. I want to make sure that it's pretty obvious that it's stopping around here. It is too wide, so let's shrink that down a bit more. Radius scale. I'm going to go to 0.2 to 0.7. Let's see if that helps. Yes. this one, I'm gonna aim further down and over here. Really early on, in terms of what I found interesting about it, it's more of I just thought it was an interesting cartoon, but I made a lot of good friends through it, so that to me is the most important part to me. I haven't even watched anything of like the new episodes at all. I've kind of fallen away from actually watching the show itself, but I hang out with a lot of the people that I've made as friends within the community, and those to me are worth it. So. Song forever. And really, I think the only reason I really got caught up in everything was because I just started doing animation work in it and found fun in it. So it's kind of been my reason for staying around. Big fireball in there? No. It needs to be balanced. I wanted to make it look like the fire is more of an aura that went around everything. I think that might be it. Nope. I need to cover up this gap right there a little bit more. Okay, that can work. I think I just need to remove the yellow a little bit. To remove the yellow, let's drop this to 0.4. Right, see what that does. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of people I know that used to go to conventions, used to go and hang to it because of like the cartoon, but then God, most of them don't go anymore for that. They don't even. They go for the people that are there and they meet for it. The content I thought, or I still think, is good and all, but I guess like I watch, if I'm gonna take the time to watch something, like we recently, or I finished watching Konosuba not long ago, an anime, and then I watched. I've been catching up on season 10 of Doctor Who. I find actually more entertainment in watching that stuff than I do in a lot of the pony stuff now. Let's see, that works pretty good. I think the fire's a little too red. Oh, that's gonna be a bitch. Okay, so it's fading to gray. Oh, I don't know why. It's like a fade out thing. So this is getting a little bit of red. Color random, that's what I want. Okay, so it's looking for dark red. I'm just gonna move it towards orange. Knitting. No, I understand how you feel. There's actually like Let's Players. Normally I don't care about Let's Players at all, but they were like playing an old point-and-click game, and I watched hours of it because it was actually they made it entertaining. The content that they were playing, I really didn't care about, but there's something else to it. It really don't think that this color random is doing much, but I guess I am almost 100% certain that actually, if I just shut this off, ugh. Yeah, that's not doing anything. Which means I bet you if I just do like a bright orange on this, yeah, this is just the outside edge. I'd have to actually modify the texture itself to get, I think, the effect that I'm hoping for, which would be a little bit more of the orange. I really don't want to modify the actual texture files for that. I think that would work. I think what's conflicting my mind is the main. I think if I fix that up, it'll be fine. I break it. Really, toxic haters don't really bug me anymore either. The only people they're really hurting are themselves. Okay, so I got self-illuminating on the main. I need to get it. I wonder if I can just shoot it. Yeah. I don't think I changed the texture, did I? No, I did change the texture. Ooh, I gotta do that to that one too. Let me see what this does first. Aha, go away. Even that kind of looks cool with that translucent. Now, that accident kind of made me think, what happens if I make that translucent? Oh, I had the button. I'm like, how did I just... Been a long day. No. It loses a structure, and then it just looks like balls of fire. I don't like that. So we'll keep that off. Alright, let's see. This is going to be the hard one to do. I know it does look like fire farts, which I think adds something to it. The juice box. It's definitely the juice box. I keep wanting to use it like a light. That way. So this is currently coming off that side, so we're going to swap that around. That did not turn how I intended it to. Can I not turn it like that? So I can turn it, I just... Well, screw you, fire. Just gonna take a little bit of modifying. Okay, so I just need to go the other direction. So velocity noise, do 080. 80. Actually, that's not the other direction. What am I doing? It's only turning at 90 degrees. I need negative 80. Random force is turned off, and the noise is fine. Noise vector is fine. Oh yeah, noise vector I do have to change. Where do I? Maybe not. Radius is fine, I turned that off. Velocity noise, that's what I'm looking for. This one is already going... Oh, I hit the wrong button on that. Alright, too early. And then this one. This might be the only two I need. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Fire horse. So I could call that one good. At least how that part is looking with it. I'm gonna move, just copy paste. I'm gonna move it down. Turn it down. Okay, it's getting into her neck bit there. I don't want that. I need it to cross a little bit in front of the mane, but not get cut in her neck piece. Which might require just playing with the timing. Like here, I don't want her fire going all the way back here either. Still spreading out. There's got to be something that's causing it to spread. I might just say screw it, and we will just change to essentially turn off the scaling. It should shrink it down to what I know, because then that's going to make this fire way too small in the end too. It's going to be just making it tighter. Really all I'm looking for is any Matrix 3, anything, because that's going to be directional stuff. If I warp... I think that... Oh, I already showed that. Nothing... Yes, breaker. Fire horse. Fur horse. Well, let's just try making this work. It's mainly just getting it out of... Okay, I'm going to shut off all the other particles so I know what I'm focusing on. The other thing too is finding the moment that the fire is as I want it. Like, I like it right there. So we could just mark this as being the actual frame that we use. Let me make sure that the back looks good. Realize that she has part of her tail not on fire right here. So we'll fix that. Is this where it was? Sure. Thought it was elsewhere, but sure. Particles, what just happened? There it is. We need to move this one a little bit closer to the camera. I think I'm going to get further from the camera. Yeah. You are number one. And with that, I will add in some lights to show that there is fire on her, but right now that's not a focus. This one's going to be tough. Probably going to use the... No, I have to use some of the orange, otherwise it's going to look really weird. Probably way too much. Actually, no, not really. So why isn't it rendering? Can I get rid of that main back of her head? And just use, or like just shrink it down. not in the way that I want it to. So I want to get the whole mane pulled in more. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I can. It's just messy. What was long? Just two. Okay. I can mark. So then this head, it should be full control of the mane. Yes. If I shut everything off, it'll be more efficient for her. Shoes, no. Chest plate, no. Horn, no. Oh, this is open and closed, don't care about that. Helmet was already no. Tail and mane I did. Oh, the mane I need to keep on for sure. That's kind of the point of this. So I can move the head anywhere as long as I don't see the actual mouth clipping through. So like that, I can do. I'm going to turn it down to so that it's a little bit more straight back there. So I'll do like that. And then this hair will scale back up. There. Now that removed a good portion of her back mane. For comparison, this is what it was before. So. This blends in better with this than this, but that's probably because I had done modifications to the actual texture in terms of like the self-illumination light, which I think I still have on for the tail, right? Yes. Actually, I think I actually did bring... Yeah, it just was the wrong one. It just looks so different to me. No, I have a light on that, don't I? Yeah, because I'm seeing the glow on the edge. So I'm thinking I have a light on it. Yeah, that one is hitting it. Why is it giving it such an orange glow, though? Why is it cut off like it is? There's a pretty strong red, orange. I'm gonna try taking this same light. Is there a shadow on it? No. Let's try just applying this to the main here. Just this one stands out so much more. Seeing if I can potentially just remove those. I'm gonna keep them off for now as a potential, but because I want to add in some of these other lights that are specific to those areas and see if adding those helps. know. I guess it really wouldn't be too much for shadows there, would there? trying to just light up that small little edge. Oh, Uber light? It's hard to say what it does when it's on and off because there's a lot it does. It's actually, if anything, it's having it off, more things are done to your light than when it is on. For instance, let's just make a new light. This is going to be our okay. So we have a light. Now, the easiest way to visualize what an Uber light does is if you right click a light and you go to enable light frustum, it's probably going to be the easiest way to figure out what it is doing. So for some reason it's not showing it. Oh, I have to have lights on. So this is, you can actually see what a light is doing. So it's essentially saying that this is the border, this is where the light's going to be hitting. So if I were to load in I'm gonna see if I can find my chocobo model. We'll use him. It's gonna show you the very specific area as where things are being hit, but it's not hitting, or its borders aren't determining things like you normally would think a light is. It's trying to make some assumptions, and an Uber light turns off the assumptions and gives you control. Come on, Chocobo. Okay. My patience only goes up to 20,000. Okay. We will go with... Let's go with Twilight Line. Come here, horse. There we go. So, she is in the light. That would be, and that's pretty obvious. So if I go and turn this light from her, you would say that she goes out of the lit area. Well, what the light is doing is it's not actually fading away from her. That's because it's textured to have a darker edge. Normally, a light is just creating an immense amount of light forward. Its texture is limiting it, so it's not actually fading the light along the edges. The texture's doing it. So, and you can see that more evident by if I back this light up. Now, if I go and increase the far Z, far Z is kind of like saying how far the light will spread, and it would max is considering where its absolute cutoff is. So far Z will let it fade a little bit. But if I put that to max and I go and move this light now, it's no longer fading out at that distance. She actually pops out of existence for light, because min and max are only controlling or looking at the model itself and saying, what, I have to light these models in this area. So if I put this far Z to some stupidly high value so that it stays lit for the whole area. Actually, let me turn it. That one kind of works. So you can see, like, there. And this might even work if I go to the edges here. No. But it does the same with the edges. Well, what Uber Light does is it actually gives you more of those controls that you actually think the light should be giving, not these, like, looking for the model, but actually, like, cutting off the specific ranges. So as soon as you make a light in Uber, first thing you notice is a lot more lines pop up, because it is now giving you that extra control. And a lot of these sliders that potentially before did nothing. For instance, what's up here? If I go and play with like height and edge height and cut on and cut off, they're doing nothing because those are controls that are specific to Uber lights. So as soon as I turn on an Uber light, it is now showing me the information of where do I want you actually want the light to cut off. So now I actually can use cut off and cut on. So cut off is, as it sounds like, it's just going to be where the light cuts off. And this is what you would actually think of for a normal light cut off. So it's showing its cut off starting range and its ending range. So as soon as a bottle enters that first blue range, it starts to dim until it gets to the last blue one, in which it actually fades out completely. And the expansion is such at the far edge. So if I go and drop my far edge down to 0, it actually is a flat line of light now. Let's see that on this side. It is an actual line of light. So she has now a floating face. And then as I increase the far edge again, you can see it kind of fade. And then the same thing goes with cut on and near edge. It's really close, but down here you have your little red ones. And that's the same thing here, cut on and near edge. And like, you can't drop the near edge or the cut on any closer than this because you would have to decrease the cut on to those values. Like now it's even going into the negative. And trying to think of one other thing with that. Some of these values, I think cutoff is one. No, cutoff. Max distance actually has a minimum, so you can actually decrease that to get the max to closer to 60 if you want. But so it just gives you a lot more control on stuff. So like even another one here is this is gonna be easier to see with the volumetric. Is those height and width ones now I actually have control. They're really low values for what their maxes are, so I actually recommend going to your maxes and dropping it by 10 times. So drop your 10 to 1, so you can actually play with these sliders a little more. And what this will do is, while horizontal field of view and stuff actually increases, and you can see here that now that you're an Uber light, and actually I'll go back here. If I shut off an Uber light and I increase the field of view, the whole light gets bigger, which is what you'd normally expect. But as soon as you make it an Uber light, if you go to increase its maximum, you're going to notice that it no longer does that. And that's because without it being an Uber light, it is also modifying some of those other values to just kind of simulate its motion or how it's moving. So, but that's because you can see the white box gets bigger, but this blue box doesn't. To get that blue box bigger is these width and height. So this is actually increase its width, and then its height. And then the edge width and the edge height are the same thing. There's two lines on this edge here. So this one increased how far the outside one went, but it also brings in the middle inside one. This just brings out the outside one. So it's kind of like a fade range for those. But the reason that I normally like these is that if you drop the height down a lot, you can get these super thin lights that cover just certain areas. I use that a lot for like lighting horizons because I don't want them to go and phase through the mountains that are in front of it, so I can make a super thin light. And you could do this with textures too, using a gobo, but in this case you don't have to. So the main ones you gain control of are so near edge, far edge, cut on and cut off. So that's the controlling of the how the close and the far. You gain control of with edge or with edge width, height, and edge height. Those are the really, I think, the only ones you gain access to. So it just gives you a lot more control for how you want the light move. That does mean that, like, in terms of your figuring out where your light ends and begins, that now you have like 8 sliders to control each of those. But I won't complain about having too much control of something, because it just means you have more options. So yeah, just play with it from there, I guess. Well, the other reason I like doing the super thin light, if you're trying to make a nice shadow that's falling behind somebody from a volumetric light, normally a normal volumetric light is just going to blot out all the other areas around that shadowed area. But if you do a nice thin one, which I am actually did in this picture, though I think I have it off right now. Yeah. Is I made this a thinner volumetric light so that I could actually see those those shadows coming down. So yeah. So that's how you access them. And if you want more details on that, I have a like 30-minute tutorial. I thought it was a pretty long one. On my YouTube, so you can always go check that out too. What's her actual crown? I thought that was hair. Wait a second. No, the sunrays are not. I'll show you those in a sec here. These are done with an actual model, I think, that you should have that comes with stuff. If you just search light rays, all one word, it is a model that I should be able to find it. I wasn't sure if I'm going to do a library crash. Oh, it's from Dota, so you might actually have to get Dota. But it comes with a couple. So it comes with these white ones, which I don't really like the white ones because white and black can also be seen as visible and not visible in terms of the lighting. So something that's black and you shine light at it will just stay invisible, but white will be as bright as possible. So having white all the way through, not going to give the effect I want. But a rainstorm is black on the edges, which helps better hide this stuff, so I tend to use rainstorm. Then there's also the SFM one, but that one does like crisscross. I don't use that one. And then whatever the hell these are. Yeah. No. I always use rainstorm, and then they're just models, so I just shine light at them. What I normally like to do with them is I like to have them cut just at a nice strong angle so that it creates those like light ray effects. And then the effect got enhanced when you get the depth of field in there. It kind of blurs. think I know it's bugging me, so I'm gonna have it so that this light's spreading a bit more. Then have one of them that isn't. It's just a nice sharp edge. And I think I need another one just above the butt, on the top of the butt. Because that's technically where the tail is. So I would think that this would be also where the light is the brightest. Okay. Put away the juice box now. This fire is going through there right now. I don't want that. I could probably hide it in post by taking a couple different shots, but I'd rather just not even deal with it. I think this might be a good one. Yes. Try one thing here too. I'm gonna take take this one. Which one is this? It's way up there. Not doing anything right now. I'm going to potentially thicken the mane right at the base. Okay. This is a position I like. So I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna change its seed. See how that does. Actually, no, screw it. For one, I'm gonna make sure this isn't going to problem. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Emit noise. I am not even near the maximum, so let's just increase this count. It really doesn't even do anything. There's one other option. For one, if that's not actually doing anything, I'm just gonna slow it down here. She does not need her juice. So does that do anything? From this angle, yes, but a little bit right there, that's fine. But what's with everything else in there? I really don't know. But I think I'll just leave it. And those lights in the background, do I want to change them to be a little bit more red too? You know what? I don't think so. I think I might just do it a little bit, but that's it. I don't want to make them too red because it actually, I kind of like the contrast that goes with it. Alright, I'm then going to take these lifting stars and we are going to utilize them a little bit differently too. So let's see here. They are just stationary. That is fine. I'm going to put them in a much smaller box. don't need them to fade in and fade out. Well, wait. Yeah, I do. That's an operator. Yeah, screw it. Keep that there. So I'm gonna keep it the numbers as they are. This is where I'm gonna be. I am going to play with these a little bit. So I think the coloration on those is fine. I think I might add a few. I'll keep the size that this looks the same. I don't even know if I'm able to see them because of the blur. That's fine. I'll try this anyway. So now I'm going to copy paste. So color random. I'm going to take the same color, but I'm going to make it a lot whiter. I might just go straight white. I'll keep it like that for now. Okay. But I'm going to take their radius. I'm going to have it so 0 and 125 to 0.75. Should have left them in each other, but I think that might have actually changed too much. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. You can't even really see them. Usually I can change the scale and be fine. So it changed on that. change just their size and their color. It shouldn't have changed its positioning, which is what happened. Let's try that again. That's different. Normally, if I copy paste a particle, they'll move in the exact same way. Because unless it might be because it's random force. Let's try velocity random. See if maybe that'll work. Hello. That's way too fast now. Let's just do 30 and 20. Let's drop their lifetime quite a bit too. Okay. Now is it still... Okay, now they're perfectly on top of each other. You can see that. So okay, so it looks like random actually is like stupid random. Well, I guess it's true random, if anything. Now we're gonna actually try this again. So we're gonna go 0.75, 1.5. Do our colors. It's essentially white. And with that, we'll do... It might be a little too bright. Actually, they're probably just too numerous. Oops. Let's drop that count to 200. Because they're both using the same seed. As long as they don't change any of the random values here. They will spawn in the same spot as each other. So that allows me to have a particle with a glowing center, essentially. But I think that might be too white still. So we're gonna just go in here, take this down to 175. I don't think it uses the alpha value from the actual textures. Actually, not sure. Let's try. Nope, it does. It apparently does. Oh, no, there's an alpha random. Haha. So it's overriding it. I'm curious as to whether this will work. So this one I am going to have this one emit a lot. I think I'm maxing out here. Yeah. So it's a whole bunch. I'm gonna make them really small. I think this could work. It's just, I think, well, I only can see it in certain spots, so I'm just gonna raise it to quite a bit here. Okay, I'm gonna make it pop up on occasion a little bit bigger. That actually, I think, works. Well, thank you, Pony. Pony Plays Live. Zippity had just said he's #1, and now you took it from him. The motion blur in this may not be what I actually want. Let me just see if I turn off motion blur. Would that work? Yeah, that could work. I think I want to change up this random seed. And the random seed I'm looking for is the big speckled ones. So I don't like that one. That one actually might work. So I need to make sure that these both get the same seed. I feel like even this one should have more. I'm just thinking it's... Actually, this one I think I'm gonna have it die off quicker. Lift it a little bit more then, but that'll make it a sharper line through there. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay. The only other thing I can really think of doing is if I want to add any type of bump maps to this. For instance, on her wings, there's this details, but none of it, it's just flat. I could make a bump map out of that. So let's grab, that's her armor for her wings. This would be a super easy one to do too. We brought up the she was drinking a juice box before, and that was the result. It was jet fuel. Let me get her juice box. Bam. So she is farting flame. Okay, so this will be super easy to do. We will do black and white first. Then slam up that that contrast. Slam up. I don't even know what the fuck I just said. Actually, you know what? This would be easier doing it from this one. I'm not sure which direction the bump map's going to want to go. And do we want to give her like battle-scarred armor? I could do that. I'm actually going to go back to this then. So we're going to go. We're going to go to the black and white. We're going to make sure that this is very high contrast. That should be fine. Now I want to look up. Do I? I don't have scratch brushes. We'll find some. I like having free brushes and all, but what I don't like is when they give you like a gajillion of them. It's like 862 brushes. Yeah, and how am I supposed to look through that shit? Like, see, this one works. Websites like that always worry me. We're gonna check out Photoshop, or not Photoshop, DeviantArt. Usually there's people that get that stuff for free on here too. Right here. I think this is the one I was just looking at. No, but it's exactly what I need. So grab those. I can't remember where you put these. PS7. Ooh, this is old. And above. Okay, well, as long as that's there. I can't remember where you put these though. Why do I have... I thought I have the newer one. 2018, I must have put on a different drive. Yep, okay. Probably have to delete the other one. I can't remember how you do that. I'm gonna double check that too. Oh, thanks. I don't want to say thanks, just no. Following through the brushes. Drinking the fish up window. Oh, really? Is it really that easy? One, I think this is. Oh no! Oh no! It is in zip, right? Yeah. What? Okay. Well, we'll do it the other way around. Just say that sounds way too easy. Or you go to edit presets, preset manager. Okay. presets, preset manager. We will put that in special effects brushes, load, unless it just puts it in wherever. There we go. Done. Now, see if we can just add some fancy. I'm gonna shrink those down a little bit. Where's this one? That's that. I just want to go with kind of a general overall scratch effect. So we'll go with that there, and then we'll just throw down some other one. A little bit more minor. Yeah, let's do that. And then what's this one? That looks good. Let's throw that in there, and then let's see here. We'll grab, oh no, I don't like that one. Those are big blotches. Just want like battle wound. That's too much. I want just... Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Oh, it's got a little bit of something in there, but that's fine. I do gotta get something on that little splotch, or that one little section. Let's try this. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I will just take. Gate key. I'm gonna try this and see what it looks like. What I might want to do is lessen the some of the details in here and let the cuts actually go through it. But first, I need to see if if these are going to be up or down. This might be looking more like veins. Just, it's extra detail. Okay, so that did work, but I think it's backwards. Oh, actually, wait. No. Because it worked kind of. But it's something else that is messing with it. I think I need to do a 180 on it. Even that, I don't think that's going to do it. Oh, I know why. Hold on. Well, for one, I do think that this is all wrong. So we'll just do that now. I probably should actually import this as a bump map. See if that works. But sometimes just like Fong and all that other stuff interferes with this stuff. Okay, there we go. So I think right now it's too strong of a bump map, but I can actually fix that on import. So those do add a little bit of nice bits, and like that actually adds a nice little metallic look in the inside. That's pretty cool. So I'm okay with that. And if I actually wanted to, I could actually set out the illumination mask to actually light up the middle of those, but I think that would be too much. Her main came back. Why did her main come back? Oh, Kelly turned you on. There we go. I thought that looked weird for a minute there. That actually area might be still dark still, or too dark still, but I'll play with that a little bit. It doesn't look like much, but there is a little bit of extra detail there. If anything, I might actually enhance these a little bit more. So this is fine. This I'm gonna have show more. So yes, okay. Oops. Import. Toot. Well, the point of it isn't to really make it so that the scratches stand out. The point is to make it so that the surface isn't like crystal smooth. I want to make it have a rough feeling to it, at least in some way or another. And so it might not be that easy to see, but it's just making it feel more like a natural surface. So not as much, I guess, even like a scratch, but just like a porous, like a rough surface. And I could technically just drop the aperture a bit, and voila, a lot of those details pop up now. But I really liked that depth of field, the added that tilt shift feel that it gives. So I kind of want to keep that, but those scratches that are there, I can put in everything. Like So let's open up, like I don't need her tail anymore on your main. So let's open up, get rid of that dig right here. Actually I don't need it. This is open, or this one open anymore either. So we're gonna go to, I believe chest plate was the old one. Crown is the new one. Chest NRM, I think. What is this one? Oh. I think it already has its own bump. So just chest plate. Okay. Oh, it's 617 is in the, it's 2017. So yeah, that's. So we want to get. That's just a flat texture. That makes that actually. I had to be a little careful on that. I was gonna just. Because it's square, I could just load in one without the other bits on it, but I don't think I'm going to. Mainly because it'll scale the scratches differently, and I want them to be evenly scaled across the everything. So I'm going to. Even so, I don't even know if that's going to help. But we will try. So that's scaled, so that's fine. So we'll just move to the more scratchy bits. I don't actually want a background like that, so we're gonna grab our inversion layer too. Oops, actually I don't drag it there, I just drag it on. Dude, okay. And this is going to be white. Actually, I had that backwards because I had the inversion on. Okay. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Oops again. There we go. Yeah, Twitch decompression is probably causing an issue with that. They are there though. And again, I don't want it to be like somebody went with a whittling on her armor in giant deep scratches. That's not the point. It's just to create a rougher surface that feels more realistic. Okay. And now we go to that chest plate. Just go in. This might be interesting across the top there. So like here, it didn't add much for scratches, but this definitely did scale it up a lot, which means I can definitely fix that. So we're just going to take our background doesn't matter, so we're going to take our, how big is this? That's why you're not showing me. There it is. We can go twice as big. So, no, canvas size. So 1024, 1024. Okay. Now we have much more detailed sketches. Now that armor, I'm actually going to take, no, I can't even guarantee that's going to work. The direction that this is going kind of goes up here, and I was hoping about getting it to go the other way, so I could just see if flipping this would work, but there's a good chance that it won't, because that same position on that rotation is now 90 degrees around the outside, around the outside, and on the outside. So it's just going to be a gamble. And a gamble. Kind of paid off. Does look better. The problem with that texture as it is, though, is I don't know where on that model any of the things are that, like, how that is mapped. Because otherwise I could actually add more details, kind of like she has up here, onto this, but I don't know where that is. One of the other ones here that's bugging me is the sun, though the sun, I believe, is also set to self-illuminate still. Let's shut that off. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Actually, I think this is still using some of the old values. Yeah. Oh, that's the helmet. Oh, good. I don't mind it glowing, but I want it to at least be visible. There we go. Alright, now this one definitely needs some extra detail as well. So the sun... Ah, nice and easy. Okay. Okay, so for the sun, as of right now, I'm gonna say that the interior should pop out. And so far, dark has been in, so I'm on essentially just as it is, just black and white. And the reason I go to black and white is because I have higher control over a lot of the contrast and stuff. So that's what I like doing. So I'm going to make the middle pure white. And then make the outside pure black. And then I'm just going to make the middle somewhere in the middle. No, I'm not going to go to that kind of extreme with it. I'm going to go to that. That's plus N. Okay, not very strong, so I'm just going to rely on this being my tool for figuring that out. Okay, that is pretty strong at this distance. It's hard to tell. So we're gonna do. Okay. So essentially, I just want to give it like a little bit of a fade out, and blur doesn't exactly give that effect. That goes too deep. So instead, I'm going to do an inner glow or outer glow. All right, outer glow. There we go. So opacity max, size. Go like there, and with no spread. Well, actually, we'll go some spread. We'll go to 50. I'll go to there. Yeah, it should work. we're also going to do color overlay white. There, that got rid of that line. So we'll do 2010. I can just copy actually. Someone wants to jump. I don't know why it's being stupid. Let's rely on this instead. So that just creates a little bit of a I can be a lot stronger in its use now. If it was a 100% cutoff, it doesn't want to look good. It's just going to be a black line. Up that. I'm going to do it like 15. Let's see what that does. Yeah, now it actually has a nice little cup there. Yeah, that creates a nice effect now. Now it actually has a nice little definition on the edge there. I wish I could pull it in more because it looks like it's floating so much, but is it actually connected? Nope. It is floating. Because I wish it was kind of curved to her. What do you do? At least it has more definition now. That's kind of what I was going for. In her helmet, because the way I see this is this could be not metal. Actually, so what? Oh, that's just a weird part of it that didn't get any scratches. I should probably readjust that later. While I have this open, I'm going to play with the helmet. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, this one should scale fine. Probably go to 1024. Yep. Actually, I don't even know why I'm scaling that up. I don't need that. Well, and actually, if that's the case, let's use this one's button map. It's essentially the same then. That was the thing I was worried about. Even at that detail, this is what that one gets. So this is some detail, but this is lacking horribly. And actually, I feel like it might be too much on some of it. But I'm thinking that this texture, because of how it curves, I'm guessing that the texture is being super stretched right here, and it is therefore not gonna work well for bump maps. That might be okay though, because I could just leave it, because I don't think that one's gonna really look that good with it. So I'm thinking anything that's yellow I will leave out of the bump maps, but everything that isn't I will have bump mapped. So if that's the case, then on this one, because the yellow is half of it, the top half, I'm going to take this and just delete it. Okay. I do not put a bump map on the yellow part. Bottom half. Oh, they're did it on the wrong half. I'll just undo it. There we go. There are some other details I want to potentially add, but I'm not going to have the time to do that today. So I'm going to leave that out for now, but it's getting there. Almost done. Actually, I kind of like it turning because it kind of keeps it going like this. She's super sassy. Well, we'll keep that there for now. No juice box. I do think I'm gonna have to play with the lighting a little bit more on here. I think that chest piece actually needs a little bit more light and a little bit more detail across here. Because then it would look like she's being lit from the front and then just has fire in the back. So, anyway, so next time, I want to play with some stuff with the wing, so to see if I can get something to work. I'm gonna have to also play with the bum map to make sure that this gets a little bit rough. Because this will be the actual detail because this is max preview. And I might need to play with some of the lighting because this light is coming through here and that doesn't make any sense. Okay, now I have to figure out what's doing that before I end the stream. I'm thinking that's one of the flame lights. Nope, actually it's not. That one. So by doing that, am I preventing something from... So this is being super bright because of that. If I turn this on for shadows, I lose a lot of that brightness. I lose a lot of the brightness all over. I lose some of the glow there, the glow there. What is this one she's doing? This is just the main light. Oh, so it's shining through her head, through here, and also then through here. And I might just do it post. That one I might be able to... Anyway, whatever. So that's gonna be it for now. I will be back on Friday to stream, hopefully finish this, and then start on something. Got some video for BronyCon. I haven't really gotten to think about that yet. So it's not like that yet. Anyway, so have a good week. See you guys Friday. Have a... Have a cat. There we go. And stuff. So, anyways, thanks for coming. Have a good